Afternoon, everyone. It's 1 o'clock. Hi, it's Liv Johnson. We are about to begin Newsroom Live. Starting with a live picture here in New York City. Beautiful view of Manhattan. The weather's not too great here for us this afternoon. It's a little chilly, it's a little breezy, and it's definitely really cloudy. But the main weather we want to talk about is going to be in Jamaica, because that's the big news of the day. Obviously, so Jamaica, any second now about to be hit by a Cat 5 hurricane, which has never happened before. It's never been hit by a Category 5. And this is the most intense hurricane to make landfall in 90 years. For the 11 a.m. advisory, that was the most recent one. We saw the pressure was at 892 millibars. That's extremely, extremely low, lower than Hurricane Katrina. And like I said, it's moments away from making landfall. But already 7 people are dead. 3 died in Jamaica just during preparation for the storm. 3 are dead in Haiti, and 1 is dead in the Dominican Republic. So we have a big storm on the way. I know I was just watching Fox Weather, and they were talking to someone in Jamaica about their power grid. Things were still up at that point. This was probably 30 minutes ago, but they did have several power outages last night. Obviously, our video right now is showing people trying to get out, trying to get home. Airports are closed now, but some people were able to make it out in time. And what's really tricky too is that a lot of people, you think, okay, let's escape to higher ground. But Jamaica, the higher ground is mountains, very mountainous, and it's not the kind of mountains that's going to interact well with this storm. So the wind speeds right now, 185 miles per hour. Oh, here's Audrey Puente.
Hi. I'm going to join you.
She's going to come talk about it with me. We're just going through
the microphone ready for
everything. Yeah. We're just going through everything about how it's moments away from hitting, but 7 people are already dead.
Oh, we got that number already?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just got the latest. So it did make landfall.
Okay.
In a place, hold on, let me get closer. Okay. New Hope, Jamaica.
Okay.
So which is on the southwestern part of the island. Winds were at 185 miles per hour, so
Right.
that's destructive, damaging. We already know
Right.
catastrophic
Right.
situation here. So the official landfall has been declared. Again, New Hope, Jamaica, which is right there on the southwestern portion.
But wind's stronger in the mountains. That's kind of what I
Correct.
was talking as you were
Yes.
getting down here. I was talking about people escaping to higher ground, but higher ground is the mountainous regions, which are supposed to get the worst rainfall, the
Yes.
strongest wind speeds.
Yeah. The highest elevation I looked up, I think it's called Blue Mountain. It's 7,000 feet, and there's estimates of 200 mile per hour wind gusts at the top of the mountains there. So yes, where do you go?
It's insane.
Where do you go?
You have to. I've already left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the folks that didn't, they're pretty much hunkered down. I've seen video already of the eastern half of the island. It appears that folks are in secure locations. Oh, this just in. Oh, the official. Okay,
Thanks,
here we go.
Chad.
Oh, just as I said. Okay, so Hurricane Melissa makes landfall. Thank you. In Jamaica as a Category 5 storm, that we know, with 185 mile per hour winds.
Right.
The strongest storm to hit the island in 174 years. I know the last one was Gilbert a while back. This is the first Category 5 storm
ever, right.
to hit, and it's actually the 3rd strongest storm in the Atlantic Basin ever on record too.
Right.
I think the wind. Oh, you know what? We just had I think we're going to pop it up here. The last strength I had, the pressure was about 800.
92?
Was it 892? Right. That made it the 3rd strongest storm ever in the Atlantic Basin.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it for this wire. Okay, we said everything there.
Thank you, Chad.
Okay, look at this, Liv. Mike and I were looking at this earlier today. Look at that eye. That is just unbelievable. And so it's eerie when you're in the eye.
And the fact that you see the entire island just surrounded.
Yeah, that's pretty devastating too. I was saying earlier on Instagram when you walked in earlier and caught me, that I'm having feelings of Hurricane Dorian, like the destruction that came through the Bahamas. We all remember those pictures from several years ago. That was horrifying. And I think that unfortunately that's what we're going to see when we do get pictures out of Jamaica.
Right.
It's going to be looking really bad on the western side of the
yeah.
island. We were just talking about the
20 to 40 inches of rain.
Yeah, landslides, extreme flooding. The storm surge 13 feet. So I also noted, I had to go look at all my notes I took since yesterday. So the airport in Kingston is only 3 feet above sea level.
Oh.
And if we have a storm surge that's expected of 13 feet, what do you think? Right. The airport underwater. So, and there's also another airport over towards Montego Bay. I'm sure they're not going to do well either, because they're going to see the backside of the system, and the water is going to be going in from the northern direction on the backside once the storm heads towards Cuba.
So what do you think about, because you worked, the weekend, you've been tracking this.
Right.
It's been sitting. Hurricane Melissa's been sitting for a while.
Yes, we've been watching this for over a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, and over the weekend is when it intensified, rapidly. We went from, I think it was 18 hours, we went from a tropical storm at 70 miles per hour up to a major category hurricane. So it was pretty wild to watch. Now we've been, we've been waiting for this to happen. We knew this was coming because that water right there in the Caribbean, everyone, is very, very warm. And we haven't seen any storms developing in this part. Remember, all of them have been on the Atlantic. So that water has been sitting and just waiting for like a match to hit the gas is really what it is. Also, because what people may not know is that when hurricanes move over warmer waters, and we often talk about this because, the sea surface temperatures are in the 80-degree range, that's good for fueling hurricanes. But when a hurricane is moving over a location and sitting the way this one did, generally it kind of churns up the colder water from deep down, and that sometimes can slow down the progression or the increase in intensity. But the water was warm all the way down, the depth of it. So this was been churning the water. The upwelling of the water down deep was warm, so this is why it fueled so quickly over the weekend.
Right. I know, a lot of times we see these systems sit and we're like, okay, and then they kind of die off. Yeah. And this one, unfortunately, just got stronger.
Yeah. Look at that. We have a little chat box.
Yeah,
that's new
we
to me.
Okay. I mean,
the
pressure
Melissa
is worse.
Yes, actually. And listen, Katrina, a lot of folks don't remember, Katrina, the disaster happened after landfall.
The levee.
Right, when the levees broke. That's when it really became worse. So, it's all relative. I mean, the Katrina was horrible. However, at landfall, it actually wasn't worse than Melissa at landfall. However, the destruction, that was just horrible.
And everything, so much has to do with how prepared the places are, how sturdy their infrastructure is. And when I was watching Fox Weather earlier and they were talking to people in Jamaica, they were talking about how the infrastructure is just not made to handle something like this.
Well, let's look what happened with Hurricane Maria. In Puerto Rico, and their infrastructure is actually better than Jamaica.
Right.
So you got to think that was a huge effect there. This is actually going to be even worse. Again, we speak about this and we're giving facts and we're sort of being matter of fact about it.
Right.
However, in my heart, I'm worried, because I feel sad because I know we're going to see images like we did with Dorian, and that was so devastating, even for those of us that weren't there, just to see. And
the fact that people have already lost their lives prepping for the storm.
The
3 in Jamaica.
Yeah, what happened there? I didn't hear that report yet.
There's 3 in Jamaica died from
storm preps.
3 have already died in Haiti, and then 1 died in the DR.
Wow. Well, let's also talk about the other islands. I know we're focused on Jamaica right now, but this is heading
Cuba.
All right, tonight and overnight, which is, that's the worst time to have any system come through, whether it's a hurricane or tornado, severe thunderstorm. At night when it's super scary, you can't see, you hear all these noises, you can't even see things flying at you if you do venture out or see things coming toward your house. Floodwaters, you don't see them rising.
Right.
That's just devastating. And we see on the track, next up will be the Bahamas, which in the Bahamas, it's going to go through the smaller parts, the smaller islands. Not that they don't matter, of course, but I believe one of them is called Long Island. Did you know?
Really? I did not know that.
Bahamas, yeah. And the main islands that were damaged by Dorian are further to the northeast, the northwest than where Melissa is expected to pass through. Now, let's wait and see. Of course, the track could shift a little bit, and we'll see how that goes. And then Bermuda.
Right. It's going to be a 4 turning to a 3 by the time it gets to Cuba?
Right, yes. Yeah. So it's estimated to be either 4 or a strong 3.
Right.
Yeah. And then Bermuda, I wanted to take note about Bermuda because they have not had a landfalling hurricane this season. You know, Bermuda's been close. I mean, a lot of storms have affected Bermuda this season, winds, rains. However, they haven't had an eye wall actually hit the island. So we'll see how this one pans out too.
I mean, that feels like a lot of this hurricane season. It's like we watch the tropics, we watch something come up, and then it just kind of, I mean, like we were talking about earlier. But
we have a question. What determines the path of a hurricane? Great question. Okay, especially with this particular storm. Okay, so we were watching this storm. I want to say it's been 2 weeks. It might be 2 weeks.
It's been a while.
Yes, because the wave had come off the coast of Africa. Okay, now when waves come off the coast of Africa, as we often talk about, you know, storms are, you know, coming off. Anyway, there's a degree, 10 degrees latitude, 15 degrees latitude. This one formed at a lower latitude than all the other storms of this season. So what that means for everyone is that it was moving over warmer waters. Oh my God, I'm blanking out. What do we call it? Main development region. Yes, right, where we see the storms develop. It was moving in that part of the Atlantic, and then again, moving further south. And all the other storms we've had this season have been taking a curve into the Atlantic and moving into cooler ocean waters. This one didn't. It stayed to the south, and it worked its way towards the Caribbean, sat in that warm core area of water for all this time. Over the weekend, we saw it intensify, and now, okay, so that was one part of it. Then now it's being guided. It will be guided as it makes its turn to the north by a dip in the jet stream. So a dip in the jet stream coming off the East Coast is actually going to steer it out towards the Atlantic. So you can see there's many components that determine the steering of a storm, but these are all things that the National Hurricane Center and forecasters look at to determine the path that you see. Now, things can move the path a little bit left and right, which is why we call it the cone of uncertainty, because people tend to just look at the middle and that's it. But here we go. Here's the cone, right? This is telling us that there's a chance that it could, you know, jog a little to the left or to the right. So even though we focus on the center, that's not always, you know, 100%.
What was that storm we were watching pretty early, and that still, you know, gave a lot of rain and flooding to the Carolinas? But
oh no, you're stumping me.
I know. I know, it's hard to remember all the names. But I just remember like being worried the cone was going to move just a little bit.
Right. Was that Imelda? Was that Imelda? Oh, Lord, we're stumping each other.
I don't know. I don't know. But basically that's an example of the cone.
Right, because that one, people said they were taken by surprise. Yet if you looked at the cone of uncertainty, you know, there was a chance. There's always a chance. That's why when storms are developing, we always tell people, stay tuned. Stay tuned. You know, don't be married to the exact forecast you see at that exact moment, because as long as you keep staying tuned to get the updates and follow along, you'll get what you need.
And then get mad at us.
Right. That does happen. Is that a quote? That does happen. All right.
There's a cone of uncertainty with everything pretty much.
Including what happens in the Weather Center every day. No, just kidding. Okay. All right, live chat. What do we got here?
Will the United States see any impacts?
Great question. I had that question yesterday because Thou Shalt Be Nameless asked me about a couple of models that were indicating that there would be split. One of the models was indicating that moisture from Melissa could affect Halloween here. I was like, no, it will not. Now, impacts to the U.S. Great question. Now, one of the models yesterday, I will say, did pull in some moisture into like the areas around Maine, Maine, Canada, Nova Scotia, right around November 1st, like this coming weekend. So that's not the U.S. though, except Maine is, of course, but not Canada. And so some of that moisture could be pulled into a system that's bringing us rain here on Thursday. That system's going to move into New England, eventually into Canada, and it could pull some moisture from Melissa. We'll have to wait and see.
Right.
So from this specific storm, I don't think we're going to see
big impacts.
Right. The answer to that question was no.
But isn't it great to have some context and some explanation as well?
That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so here we go. Hurricane Melissa warnings, watches. We see them all there. Okay, we talked about Cuba, Liv. Now the Bahamas. We did talk about, and we talked about everybody.
Right.
We know we didn't talk about Haiti. Haiti's gotten rain and mountainous area. Yes, they're not heading. You know, it's people tend to just focus on the center of a storm a lot, but we have to understand, like you just mentioned, people have already unfortunately perished in Dominican Republic, Haiti,
and Jamaica.
And Jamaica, and yes, they were from storm preps. However, we are going to see heavy rainfall in Haiti, which we've already seen. That they already are an island that deals with a lot of infrastructure issues. So the western part, also the mountainous areas, the landslides, mudslides. I haven't heard any reports yet. To be honest, I haven't looked. So there may be issues there, but I know that rainfall, they're seeing a good amount of rainfall there.
Which would, I think, be the number one, you know, cause of death would be drowning.
Yes.
From flooding.
It is, actually. It's the number one cause in these storms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, another thing we didn't talk about, tornadoes. Mm-hmm. Tornadoes are also going to be an issue on we call it the right front quadrant in meteorology. That's the most dangerous side of any hurricane, and that's because that's where we see tornadoes forming. So that would be in an area like Kingston, Jamaica, because people focus it's on the western side of the island, the eye. However, the eastern side is not out of the woods. They're still getting tropical storm force winds, hurricane wind gusts, storm surge, and the possibility of tornadoes.
Yeah, it's everything.
So even though you may not get the eye wall in Kingston, you could get
100%.
a tornado. Right.
All right, I'll get you on the calendar. We'll figure out the
We want, yeah.
Okay, let's take a break for a couple minutes, and then we'll come back and
chat more
about
we've already
Melissa.
been chatting
See
for a
what the
while.
latest is.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, all right. Welcome back, everyone.
You're watching Newsroom Live. Audrey Puente, Liv Johnson.
Liv Johnson.
We're here talking about Hurricane Melissa, which made landfall just a little while ago at New Hope, Jamaica, which is on the southwest coast. And we're looking at images here, I guess, of folks in the preparatory phase from, I guess, I'm not sure if it was yesterday or the day before.
Yeah.
I know the airports were already shut down by yesterday. And, wow, is this Cuba? It looks like it might have been Cuba. Cuba also prepping right now because Melissa's headed in that direction. So once again, it made landfall just a short time ago. Oh, this image is amazing. This is we saw this yesterday. This is breathtaking from the U.S. Air Force. There's the eye wall.
How crazy.
By the way, did you hear the report yesterday that the hurricane hunters had cut one of their flights, and it was right around 2 or 3 o'clock. They cut it short because of severe turbulence.
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
It was like this just in around 4 o'clock. Nick and I were talking about it, and I'm like, wait a minute. Their planes are made to withstand this. So for them to say that they couldn't go through this because it was that severe turbulence,
telling.
Goes to say how intense is the storm, which we know is incredibly intense.
Right.
But that was the first time in my entire career that I ever heard about the hurricane hunters stopping a mission, ever.
Let's recap some of the quick stats, like the winds and
winds were at 185 miles per
185,
hour.
but gusting
to 200 at the mountaintops.
Actually, I think I'm going to ask you a question, like I'm a viewer, because I think it's interesting. So this is a very mountainous region, and when you think of storms hitting mountains, a lot of times it can kind of help. What's the word that I'm looking for?
Enhance the rainfall.
Yes, but also like winds, and sometimes it can kind of slow the storms down.
Oh yes, shear.
But
yes,
like
shred it.
With this situation, I mean, the winds are stronger, higher up. It's expecting more rainfall.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, maybe, do you want to talk a little bit about the mountains and how they're playing a role?
So you're right, because usually we hear about this when we have landfalling hurricanes here in the U.S. You know, of course, we have a bigger landmass than the island of Jamaica, and we hear about the storm weakening, being torn apart, things like that. Unfortunately, Jamaica's a lot smaller, right? And it's moving across the island from a south to north as opposed to east to west, which is what Gilbert did. Gilbert went across the entire island, but from east to west, which would be long. I think it's about you know what? I forgot. Is it 176 miles across? I think Jamaica might be.
Jamaica?
Yeah.
Something like that, yes.
So it's moving from south to north, and it accelerated in speed, which means it's going to be moving a little bit faster. Now, not racing, it's only moving at 9 miles per hour, but that's actually an improvement from the 5 miles per hour or 3 miles per hour we saw over the weekend when it was hovering over the Caribbean. Now, 9 miles per hour means it's accelerating, which is actually good news for Jamaica, because this is going to be offshore probably in another, we're calling around 7 or 8 o'clock tonight. So that's only another 6 or 7 hours they'll have to endure the wind and the rain there.
Yeah.
So it is supposed to weaken slightly to a Cat 4, but that's still a major. And it's moving over warm water once again. So right now the projection is for a Cat 4 or a strong Cat 3 to Cuba, but that could change. That could actually be a strong Cat 4 or even, I hate to say minimal Cat 5, but we could just be between Cat 4 and 5.
It could jump around.
Right.
And then you guys asked us if it would affect the U.S. No,
we're in the clear here. We have a jet stream that's dipping down. It's helping to move it offshore. You can see from that track. Yeah. So I guess we just we're waiting to see, waiting it out, so to speak, to see what kind of pictures we're going to get. Relief and recovery efforts will be made. Unfortunately, the airports will probably be inaccessible for a few days. I was saying-
Power.
Yeah, well, I heard power's already started
Yeah,
to kick out on
yeah.
the western part of the island there. And yeah, and we have hurricane warnings now still for Jamaica, eastern Cuba, where it's expected to take its next stop, then the central and southeastern Bahamas, tropical storm warnings for Haiti, central Cuba, Turks and Caicos, and then after that, Bahamas, it's aiming for Bermuda. So we're going to be talking about this for at least the rest of the week, if not into the beginning of next week.
Right.
What are the potential impacts for Jamaica? Okay.
I mean,
Storm
the
surge.
winds, 185 miles per hour. That's going to take down a lot of trees,
Power
a lot
lines.
of power lines,
Right.
structures.
Structures for sure. The National Hurricane Center called it for destructive. The words they use: life-threatening, dangerous. I mean, that's pretty strong language coming from the National Weather Service. So not only the winds, we have flooding.
Flooding.
Destructive flooding is what
Probably,
they said. We
Yeah.
could see upwards of 40 inches in some parts of the island. A storm surge of 13 feet expected on the southern part of the coast. I haven't heard how much they're expecting on the northern half, but however, on the backside of the storm, we're going to have a northerly flow coming in, so that could result in storm surge in places like Montego Bay.
Well, I mean, and Audrey was talking about, you were talking about the airport and how it's only a few feet above sea level.
3 feet above sea level.
Yeah, so
in Kingston, yeah.
That's part of the impacts. It's not, Jamaica doesn't really have a lot of, they're not set up very well for this storm
Yeah.
to move through.
No, I mean they've had storms before, but nothing like this. So we're going to be hearing more about it. So, yeah, so that about wraps up all our information
Yeah.
from there.
That's
I
our
think.
hurricane stuff.